Most people don't fail because they're lazy, untalented, or unlucky. They fail because they're distracted. Every day, millions of people wake up with big dreams, but spend their best hours chasing small things. They answer messages, scroll endlessly, jump between tasks, and stay busy from morning till night, yet their life never truly moves forward. If you've ever felt exhausted but unfulfilled, overwhelmed but unproductive, then this isn't a motivation problem, it's a focus problem. And once you understand this, everything changes. Here is the uncomfortable truth most people don't want to hear. Success is not about doing more, it's about doing less, but doing the right thing relentlessly. The world has convinced us that multitasking is a superpower, that balance is the ultimate goal, and that hustle means juggling everything at once. But the most successful people on earth live by the opposite rule. They focus on one thing at a time, and they give it everything. This is the core idea behind the one thing. It revolves around a single life-altering question. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? This question cuts through confusion like a blade. It forces clarity, it eliminates noise, and most importantly, it exposes the illusion that everything matters equally, because it doesn't. Most people structure their days based on urgency, not importance. Emails feel urgent, notifications feel urgent, other people's requests feel urgent, but urgency is not progress. You can spend an entire day putting out fires and still move nowhere. When your life is driven by urgency, you're reacting instead of leading. You're surviving instead of building.
The reality is that extraordinary results come from extremely focused actions. Progress is not evenly distributed. A small number of actions create most of your results, while the majority of your effort produces very little impact. Yet people keep spreading themselves thin, hoping effort alone will save them. It won't. Multitasking is one of the biggest lies of modern productivity. When you switch between tasks, your brain doesn't instantly refocus. It carries residue from the previous task. This mental lag destroys efficiency, creativity, and depth. You're not doing many things well, you're doing many things poorly. Deep success demands deep focus, and deep focus demands singular attention. Look at anyone who has achieved mastery. Athletes, writers, entrepreneurs, scientists. They didn't succeed by chasing 10 goals at once. They obsessed over one thing for years. While others were distracted, they were locked in. While others were busy, they were intentional. One of the most dangerous myths the book exposes is the idea that everything deserves equal attention. Schools, workplaces, and society reward being busy, not being effective. But being busy is easy. Anyone can fill their day with tasks. Being effective requires saying no, often to good things, so you can say yes to the one thing that truly matters. Saying no is uncomfortable. It feels rude. It feels risky. It feels like you're missing out. But every yes is also a no to something else. When you say yes to distractions, you say no to progress. When you say yes to comfort, you say no to growth. Another powerful idea in the one thing is the destruction of the balance myth. We are constantly told to balance work, health, family, relationships, and personal growth perfectly. But perfect balance doesn't exist, and chasing it kills momentum. Success requires seasons of imbalance. There are moments in life when one thing must dominate your attention. You cannot build something extraordinary while giving it leftover energy. Big goals demand priority. Balance is something you achieve after progress, not before it. The people who achieve remarkable things are willing to be temporarily unbalanced to create long-term freedom. This leads to one of the most practical tools in the book, time blocking. Instead of letting your day control you, you control your day.
You schedule time for your one thing and treat it as sacred. No interruptions, no negotiations, no distractions. This isn't about working more hours, it's about protecting your most valuable hours. Deep work feels uncomfortable because it lacks instant gratification. There are no notifications, no dopamine hits, just focus. And that's exactly why most people avoid it. They confuse movement with progress and stimulation with productivity. But boredom is often a sign that you're doing something meaningful. Another reason people avoid focusing on one thing is fear. When you commit fully, you remove excuses. If you fail, you can't blame distractions. You must face yourself. Spreading your attention feels safer because it protects your ego. Focus exposes truth, and truth is scary. The book also emphasizes the importance of goal alignment. Most people set goals disconnected from daily action. They dream big but act small. They say they want freedom, success, or mastery, but their daily behavior doesn't reflect it. Real success comes from reverse engineering your future.
You start with your someday goal. Then you break it down into a 5-year goal, a 1-year goal, a monthly goal, a weekly goal, and finally, a single action today. When your daily actions align with your future vision, progress becomes automatic. Willpower is another illusion the book destroys. Willpower is limited. It drains throughout the day. That's why the most important work must be done early, before distractions and fatigue take over. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They build systems that protect focus when motivation disappears. Your environment shapes your behavior more than discipline ever will. If your phone is within reach, you will check it. If notifications are on, your focus will break. Remove friction from the right behaviors and add friction to the wrong ones. Make focus easy and distraction hard. Accountability also plays a massive role. When progress is tracked, behavior changes. When actions are visible, consistency increases. Small daily wins create momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Confidence fuels commitment. This is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. What makes the one thing uncomfortable is that it forces responsibility. You can no longer blame lack of time, energy, or opportunity. Once you identify your one thing, everything else becomes an excuse. And excuses are comfortable, but they are also the enemy of growth. Most stress doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from doing the wrong things. When your actions align with your purpose, work feels meaningful, time moves faster, energy increases, life feels lighter, even when the work is hard. The world doesn't reward those who try everything. It rewards those who master something. Depth beats breadth. Focus beats hustle. Clarity beats effort. If you feel stuck, overwhelmed, or behind in life, the solution isn't more motivation or more information. It's less distraction. One clear goal, one prioritized action, one disciplined commitment repeated daily. The most powerful thing you can do today is not to add something new to your life, but to remove what doesn't matter. When you clear space, focus emerges. When focus emerges, progress accelerates. Success is not complicated, it's just uncomfortable. It requires patience in a world addicted to speed, focus in a world addicted to noise, and commitment in a world addicted to comfort. And once you commit to your one thing, truly commit, everything else starts to align. Not instantly, not easily, but inevitably. Because the truth is simple and unforgiving. You don't need to do more. You need to do what matters most, and do it consistently.